I'm here with my daughter Abigail, and I'm here to review a backpack called the Mountainsmith Explorer. It's a 26-liter pack. What's unfortunate about this pack, it's a great pack, but it's no longer being offered by the Mountainsmith company. They've discontinued it, but that doesn't mean you can't find it in a lot of other online retailers. So look for it. If you can find it, it certainly is going for about half the price it was when it first came out. So it's worth looking for. So I have this one. It's I think it only comes in one color, which is the Anvil Gray, and it is able to fit a 17-inch laptop. So let's take a look around and see what this bag has to offer. And Abigail, you can tell me if these are good features that you think are worthwhile.
Wait, I'm participating in the
Yeah, you're going to participate. So first thing in, on the front, you can see we have a slash pocket. Put your wallet in there, easy access to it. You also see at the very top here, we have a horizontal pocket here. It's small, but it fits your glasses, and if you're somebody like me who wears glasses, it's a great place to put your sunglasses. It's not fleece lined, unfortunately. And then we have the panel that's just behind the front area. You can see here we have the organizer panel, which gives you slots for 3 pens or pencils. Certainly enough room for an iPhone 7 Plus. Another compartment behind here that you can fit stuff into. It's pretty shallow though. It only goes to just here to the bottom edge here. And then we have yet another compartment here with a mesh front so you can see what's in there without having to open it up and dig in. And this whole compartment in the front has about 1.5 inches of depth, so you could fit a good amount of stuff in there. You could throw in some clothing if you wanted to. So that's the front compartment. Double zippers, by the way, on all the main compartments. Really handy. And then in the main compartment here, pretty generic here. It's got a big open space here, and it has a place where I guess you would put sort of file folders if you want to keep your papers from getting all messed up. And then another zippered compartment pocket in here, which is not attached to the back wall, so a little more flexibility if it gets very full. And on the outside of the pack, you can see here we have what looks to be a zippered pocket, but it actually is a pocket that opens up and allows you to put your water bottle into it. Otherwise, if you don't have a water bottle, it folds nice and neatly against the side of the pack. Keeps it nice and trim looking. And on the opposite side, we have a Velcro pocket. Pretty small pocket here. Easy access to things like your keys, etc. All right, so let's take a look at the laptop compartment here. Much beefier zipper on the laptop compartment. It is TSA friendly, although these days TSA forces you to take your laptop out, so it really isn't TSA friendly anymore. But you can put your laptop into this area. It has a neoprene in the front of this pocket, and it easily fits a 17-inch laptop. Nothing on this front panel. One thing to know though is that there's foam on the back panel here, and there's also foam between your computer and the main compartment, so it keeps whatever you might have in the main compartment protected from the hard case of your computer. Quick grab handle here at the top. It's reinforced with what appears to be some sort of rubber-like material, so it's actually pretty comfortable to hold on to. And the suspension system here, you have fully adjustable shoulder straps, a sternum strap, also adjustable up and down. And when you, actually nice shoulder straps in terms of how cushiony they are. They also have the perforated foam to allow for ventilation, as well as you can see there's relief areas up the middle for your spine, and then for more ventilation across the center of your back there. Anything else, Abigail Chang? What do you, Abby? What do you think of it in terms of the way it looks? Ugly, or pretty, or okay?
Aren't there other color options?
That's all there is. A little hint of red here. That's all. I've already talked a little bit about what this pack has to offer, all the good things. So let me just reiterate some of those things. Number one, having a spot to put your glasses in is great. Now, obviously, this is not a glasses specific pocket here. If it were, it would probably have felt lining or fleece lining, but it should keep your glasses pretty well protected, so I don't worry too much about that. Having the zippered pocket to allow for you to put a water bottle in here if you have a water bottle, but to fold away flat, a nice touch there. The interior of this pack is something that's very different from other packs, and I'm not sure why most pack companies don't adopt this, but having the bright yellow interior really makes it a lot easier for you to find things, especially in the dark areas at the very bottom of the backpack. And it's a simple thing, but it really does make a difference in terms of the usability of a pack. The really heavyweight zippers that you have here are great. They're super easy to zip just with one hand. You don't have to worry about it getting jammed or anything like that as you're zipping up the backpack. Having this reinforced rubber around the grab handle, I think, is a nice little touch there. Having the separate foam wall that separates the laptop compartment from the main compartment is not something you typically see, and it really does give the pack a lot of structure. The pack itself is flat on the bottom, so when it's filled, if it doesn't have the laptop in it, when it's filled, it's going to be able to stand up on its own, like so. If you have the laptop in the bag and nothing else, it's going to flop towards the laptop. So obviously the laptop somewhat limits the ability for this bag to stay upright on its bottom like this. It feels a lot more spacious than a 26-liter pack typically does. And I think of that, it probably has something to do with the fact that it's pretty wide and short compared to most other packs that we have out there. The suspension system is really quite good. Having the ventilation areas as well as these relief areas makes it a lot more comfortable to carry heavy loads. So let me move on to the things that I think are bad about this pack, and it's fairly limited. And some of these things you may not think are all that bad. For example, this first one, which is having the zipper covers. Zipper covers are typically done to make your pack a little bit more weather resistant, but frankly, the headache involved in opening up a backpack and re-zipping it with the flaps on there, it's just not worth the benefit, the marginal benefit of having it be a little bit more weatherproofed. So I would love to have them get rid of any sort of these flaps that you see right here, because it really does impede your ability to zip and unzip your backpack. And they have that in both the main compartment as well as the compartment where the organizer panel is located. Interestingly, they don't have it in a place where it might make more sense to have the zipper covers, which is the access place for your laptop. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If I was going to put zipper covers somewhere, I would put it in a place where my computer is, and I'd worry less about it in areas where I didn't have those electronics. So it's sort of a strange choice that they have there. The side pocket that has the Velcro on it is really just too small. I think maybe 5 years ago when we were all carrying around the iPhone 4, it might have fit an iPhone, but nowadays it's just not going to be able to do that. And it's not even big enough to fit your wallet. So maybe you can put your keys into there, but the fact is it's so deep that if you put your keys in there, it's kind of a pain to get in there to get to your keys. So I would think that's sort of a limited use pocket that we have, unfortunately, there, and it could have been better. And then lastly, while I do like the idea of having a zippered pocket for your water bottle, note that when you put your water bottle in there, it sits in there fairly loosely. It's not held in there all that tightly. And most pack manufacturers that have these compartment water bottles where they can zip up and lay flat against the backpack, they also have some sort of bungee cord that hooks onto the top of your water bottle to prevent it from bouncing out, since there's nothing really that's holding this water bottle in. So if you start jogging across campus, you might lose your water bottle. Oh, And then lastly, of course, it probably wasn't intended to be a pocket for your sunglasses, but since I do use this for my sunglasses pocket, and you might use it for your iPhone or something like that, it would be really nice to have a fleece lining for this pocket where I typically keep my sunglasses. I would say that the only thing that I think is missing, and I'm not really going to count, so this is sort of an indifferent thing, it's missing, which is some sort of piece of webbing here where I could connect something like a pouch, or more importantly for me, my keys. I actually, as you'll see when I pack up this bag, I attach my keys to my front shoulder strap, which allows me to have my ID on it, and that ID gives me access to all the buildings on campus. So having that sort of piece of webbing here to attach things to would be really handy if Mountainsmith had built that in. But again, I can't hold that against them because that is something that's probably only specific to my uses. Let me go ahead and pack up the bag so you can see how well it holds the load. I've lost my daughter, as you can see. All right, there you have it. It's fully loaded now, and you can see even with my computer and my tablet in there, it is actually sitting upright on its bottom, no problem. I just couldn't find a place to attach my keys. As I said earlier, there's no piece of webbing to hook it to on the shoulder strap, so that's kind of a bummer. All right, so here I'm wearing the pack, and it's fully loaded, and it is, it's a bit bulky. It feels a bit bottom heavy, meaning that it does feel like it's tipping me backwards a little bit. And that has a lot to do with the fact that it's sort of a wide and squat backpack. So a lot of the weight is concentrated in this lower part of the backpack instead of sort of across the entire length of your back. But overall, it's a pretty comfortable bag. No doubt that the back is nice and soft. The shoulder straps are well cushioned. I can easily feel like it's nice and secure when I attach the sternum strap on this thing if I'm running across campus or bicycling. It digs in a little bit right here in the upper rib cage. So I'm not quite sure if it's because the shoulder straps aren't fully sculpted, but it is a little bit uncomfortable, and I could imagine if I were on sort of a 3-mile hike and I was carrying a full load here, that would really start to bother me, feeling that pressure that exists right there in that sort of upper rib cage area here. But overall, if I'm just going to be moving around on campus or going from the subway station to the office, this is not something that would feel uncomfortable in any sort of way over a short period of time. So overall, a great pack. And again, if you can find this anywhere online, I'm sure that it's selling for a great deal right now, and you should go ahead and pick one up if you can.